Thank you all for being out here for this great pachanga. How about giving it up for your great Mayor Villalobos? I lost sight of him right now, but I want to thank the mayor for, there you go. I want to thank the mayor for his leadership of the great city, but also thank him for his years of friendship and everything that he has done. Thank you, Mayor, for being here for your friendship. And it is great to be back in the Rio Grande Valley. As he was talking about, I come down to the Rio Grande Valley about, on average, once every week. And you know what? I'm going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And we are going to ensure the Rio Grande Valley votes red Republican this election year. So did y'all see the headlines in the paper yesterday and today talking about record voter turnout in the Republican primary right here in McAllen, Hidalgo County? There is something going on. One thing that's going on, and we're working to register more voters. We're contacting with the members of this community, and we're connecting with them like never before, making sure that they understand the difference between Republicans and Democrats. And then on top of that, I think there is a record number of Hispanics who are running for office here in the Rio Grande Valley. And so we are going to work not just to ensure that we have more Hispanics in the RGV voting than ever before, but we are going to elect more Hispanics in the RGV than ever before. And mark my words, as the Hispanic community learns more and more about the Republican Party and connects with the Republican Party, let me tell you something. One of these days, and maybe not too far in the future, there will be the first Hispanic governor of Texas, and that governor must be a Republican Hispanic governor of the great state of Texas. Now, there's a couple of friends of mine who are here, one who's been here with me ever since I began campaigning down here, and that's Hilda DeShazo. Hilda, thank you for being here. So, somebody else that I want to make sure that you know is somebody that I appointed to the Texas Supreme Court, and he's running for election to that seat. He clerked for Justice Scalia at the United States Supreme Court. His name is Evan Young. He's right here with his hand up. Evan, thank you. Listen, let's go back and tie up some loose ends here, because understand that there is a reason why people in the Rio Grande Valley are voting Republican and supporting Republicans like never before. And that's because of the incredible contrast we see with the Democrats. We know that you here in the Rio Grande Valley, just like our fellow Americans, we are fed up with Biden-stoked inflation that's costing us so much money. But we also know that we care something about the jobs, the kind of jobs that arts provides. Speaking of which, we are at the arts facility. Give it up for arts for hosting this event here tonight. So get this, Arts is celebrating their 55th anniversary this year, and I'm very, very proud of their entire family for being here and supporting this event and holding this at their location. I thought we were hanging out at a restaurant or a bar, and it turns out it's just a massive field at Arts. But listen, there's a reason why people, whether it's in the business sector or whether it's families or whether it's people who serve in the Border Patrol who live and work right here in the Rio Grande Valley, there is a reason why they are stepping up and supporting the Republican Party, and one of them relates to jobs. We know that in Hidalgo County, in the Rio Grande Valley, there are a lot of the high-paying jobs connected to the energy, oil, and gas sector. And we know this. My opponent in the general election is going to be Beto O'Rourke, and we know that he... I always get that wrong. I'm sorry. My opponent will be Robert Francis O'Rourke. And he has threatened to crush the energy jobs that help people buy homes, buy cars, take care of their families. Let me tell you something. I am running for re-election to ensure that we protect the oil and gas sector that made America energy independent. I'm also running for re-election for our kids. I know how important it is for our kids to get an education, but we want our kids to learn what they need to learn to advance in this world. But that does not include being taught things like critical race theory. And that's why we passed 2 laws making sure Texas has the strongest ban on critical race theory of any state in the United States of America. So I met earlier with a teacher, and I told that teacher the same thing I tell all teachers. My wife is a former teacher. My wife is a former principal, and I went to public schools my entire life. And as governor, I provided more resources to our public schools than any other governor in the history of Texas. All that being said, we need to understand this, and that is at the end of the day, we need to understand that no government program can replace the role that parents play in the education of their children. And that's why I'm proposing a parental bill of rights that restore parents to their rightful position as the lead decision maker for their children's education and health care. Parents matter. Listen, on top of that, we see some crazy ideology, and I think Mayor Villalobos made reference to one of these crazy ideologies that we see from the Democrats, and that's defunding the police. And wherever that happens, look at what's going on in Los Angeles and San Francisco and Portland and Seattle. And it even happens here in Texas. In Austin, Texas, Austin defunded their police. They took more than $100 million from the Austin police. And you know what happened? It led to an all-time record high in the number of murders last year in Austin, Texas. In Texas, we do not defund our police. We support our law enforcement officers, period. And we are going to continue to support them. But as crazy as that is, a crazier, more radical idea is what both Beto and Biden are supporting and implementing, and that is the open border policies that are so dangerous to our communities. So I was visiting with somebody here earlier tonight, someone who has faced the consequences a family has of the open border policies is one of the most catastrophic aspects of open borders, and that's the deadly drug fentanyl coming across the border. This drug is made in China, that comes across the border with Texas and Mexico, and just this past year alone, Texas law enforcement has seized more than enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in Texas, California, Illinois, New York, and Florida combined. This is deadly and dangerous, and the Biden administration is doing nothing to stop its flow in America. The only person stepping up and doing anything about it, the only entity stepping up doing anything about it, is the great state of Texas stepping up to do something about it. So we have our law enforcement, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and our tremendous National Guard on the border. As we gather in McAllen tonight, the National Guard are working to make sure that our border is going to be safe. Give it up for the fabulous men and women who serve in the Texas National Guard. So we are committed to ensuring that we will continue to do everything we can to make sure that your communities are safe, because we see how rapidly McAllen is growing. We see how rapidly the entire RGV is going. And we know that one thing that attracts people to this region is because it is a safe region. And we want to make sure that it remains safe. And so we will continue securing the border, including Texas building that border wall, making sure that our state and community will be safe. But here's the deal. All of these contrasts with the Democrats or the radical leftists, they are going to come to a high point over the course of this campaign as we head to November. The first step to that pathway to November, however, begins between now and next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, March the 1st, is the primary election day. If you have not already gone to vote, I need you to go vote early. Vote early next week. If not, vote on election day next Tuesday. Make sure that you cast your vote and your vote counts. And I'm proud to tell you that just moments ago, I met a young woman for the first time, but she told me what I've heard many times across the Rio Grande Valley and elsewhere. I'll tell you her first name. Her first name is Vanessa. And Vanessa told me that in the past, she had voted for Beto this year, she's voting to re-elect Governor Greg Abbott to be governor of the great state of Texas. So thank you to Vanessa. Thank you to the Rio Grande Valley. Thank you to McAllen. Thank you to all of you for playing a role, not just in making sure that I get reelected, but playing your role to make sure more Republicans and more Hispanics will get elected to office in the Rio Grande Valley. God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Texas.